Okay, velkommen alle sammen til vores årlige vinfestival. I år er det lidt anderledes på grund af coronasituationen, så vi er med virtuelt, og vi har været så heldige at få lov til at få et medlem fra Speri med til at ligesom lave en smagning for os. Vi skal smage Valpolicella Ripasso i dag, så jeg kommer til at skifte over til engelsk nu. So welcome, Giuseppe, and thank you for participating in this this presentation of the winery Speri. So first of all, can you introduce yourself? Who are you? And yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you to all the Erik Sorensen staff. It's great to be here to talk in this particular moment where people can't move. We hope that everything come back to normality soon. But yes, I am Giuseppe Speri from the Speri family. I am actually the youngest of the family to be inside the winery, and in detail I follow all the winemaking process. So all the process that we have between fruits until bottles. So probably you know that we are a big family, and we have the great lucky to be in 9 members of the family today to follow everything. It's a great lucky because we can really follow everything from the beginning until the end. So in the detail I follow the winemaking. So I'm quite young, I'm 30 years old, but yes, don't be afraid for my young age because I'm followed by my father every day. So it's also a really unique and great things to mix all the great study, because I'm graduated in winemaking and enology in Trento, the most important Italian school of enology. And yes, was great in last years to work to mix the practice that my father learned from over than 40 years inside the wine, together with the theory that is also really very important in the world of wine, where all the chemistry play for an absurd quantity of reaction inside the wine. So today is something important because yes, family mean tradition, but also mean to be to follow the time. So these years were really great for me, but yes, not only for me, also for all the family, but also for my father. So all the works that we made in last years was great for our wines and for the family, for sure.
Nice. So and who are Speri? What's the history about the winery Speri?
Yes, I say a little bit. We are a family. With me, yes, I say to you that I am the youngest, but I am the first of the 7th generation of Speri. So we are a big family, not only for the numbers, for the today numbers, but also for the history. We started to make everything around. Yes. We know that we were here before, but we located our beginning in at the end of 18th century, so it's more than 150 years. It's great because we grow step by step, like our philosophy wanted in all the generations. And yes, continue to grow step by step. Today we have 60 hectares, all located inside Valpolicella Classica. Valpolicella Classica is the historical region where everything started many years ago. Is located very close to the Lake Garda, the biggest Italian lake. So our region, our microclimate, have a great influence from this big surface of water, because give warmer winter and fresher summer. So yes, it's really very important for the plants. Our wines, our life start inside the vineyards. So it's also very important to say that all our production, all the 60 hectares that we have, are organic certified. We are also one of the most important Valpolicella reality under the organic viticulture. Because yes, you know, we have 60 hectares, but today in Valpolicella we have not over 400 hectares of organic viticulture. So we are one of the most important reality. And when we turn to the organic viticulture around 10 years ago, in Valpolicella we were 100 hectares of organic viticulture. So we are considered pioneers over organic viticulture, but yes, we are considered here pioneers in general in the viticulture, because from many generations we follow everything from the beginning until the end. So all the land, all the wine process, so is something unique, I think today. And as I said before, was really important for me learn everything from my father, all the things that he learned through the years, and all the things that he learned from my grandfather. So yes, you know that I said to you before, we are 9 members of the family today. Is yes, really very important. Through the generation, the family tree come large until the actual generation. And yes, we are focused over Valpolicella wines. We produce only 5 kind of wines that are the 5 wine denomination of Valpolicella. So we have Valpolicella Classico, we have Valpolicella Ripasso, we have Valpolicella Superiore, we have Amarone, and we have Recioto. So only 5 kind of wines, and are all red wines that are born from an indigenous blend of grape varieties from Valpolicella. We use 4 grape varieties in total that are Corvina, Corvinone for 70%, Rondinella for 20%, and also Molinara, that is a particular variety, particular because disappear from a lot of wineries of Valpolicella, because it's pink colored, so have not to color to give to the wine. And we shave for the last 10% of the blend, where this grape variety play for the great typicity that you discover in our wines. Our wines, we have yes, 5 wines. We have yes, is the greatest things of our wines is that you have a continuum from the beginning, from the entry level Valpolicella Classico through the Ripasso until the Amarone, that is the most important wine. You feel a continuum with a nice acidity, that is probably the most important characteristic of our indigenous grape varieties, and also a very dry kind of taste that are the 2 mainly characteristic of our wines.
Perfect. So that leads me to the wine. Now we talked about the grapes and your different kind of wines. So today we're gonna taste the Valpolicella Ripasso. So first of all, you talked about the Valpolicella area, and the name Classico is written on the label. What means Classico?
Yes, Classico that you see here on the label mean, yes, we can see Valpolicella, Ripasso are the 2 mainly names. Classico mean that all the grapes that we use for made this label, to make this wine, comes only from the Classica region of Valpolicella. I mentioned only the Classica before because all our 60 hectares are located only in the Classica region. So, but Valpolicella area is formed by more land, of course, and we have the eastern part of Valpolicella that yes, is not Classica, and where the wine that you find from haven't this word on the label.
No.
So yes, Classica mean only the origin of the grapes.
Exactly. So it's a quality stamp for when it says Classico on the label, you know it's from the Classica area.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And then, of course, Valpolicella, but then it says Ripasso. So what's Ripasso? In Denmark, a lot of wine lovers love Ripasso and Amarone, but some people know what Ripasso means, but for others, it's just a name of the wine. It's just, we're going to drink a bottle of Ripasso tonight, but what is Ripasso?
Yes, Ripasso, yes, is for sure the most famous Valpolicella, not only in Denmark, but in all the world, because all the wineries produce Ripasso. You need to consider that when we born, we were in few wineries here in Valpolicella, not more than 10 wineries, and today we were more than 300 wineries, and all the wineries produce the Ripasso, so the numbers of this wine that goes on the market are many, so are million bottles, so is a kind of wine that you find everywhere. Ripasso, the name Ripasso is a simple name that talk about the wine method that we use for the production of this wine. That is the Italian word that mean a new passage, passed again, over the dried, crushed skins of Amarone. So, for the production of the Amarone, we dry the grapes for 4 months, where we have after this time, we have a very strong and high concentration that the grapes receive from this time. We lose 40–45% of water, so a really strong concentration. So after this time, we crush the grapes for the production of the Amarone. But after the crushing, the wine start the fermentation. After the fermentation, we separated the liquid that becomes Amarone from the solid part that are the grapes, the crushed, dried skins of Amarone. And we don't put away the solid part, because the solid part is rich in all the substance that give to us the Amarone, so sugars, yeasts, colored substance like phenols, polyphenols, and we put over this solid part the entry Valpolicella Classico, that is a simple, easy, fresh kind of wine. So the wine stay together. This wine stay together with the skins for a time that is quite short, only 1 week, but a time that is perfect for made a new fermentation with the residual sugars, and to change the wine from a young, fresh and simple wine to a more complex wine that is the Ripasso, the wine that we have in the glass. Ripasso is yes, really interesting, because mix the simple and easy way of Valpolicella Classico together with the complexity, together with the strong power of Amarone. So it's really interesting because goes inside the middle, and so yes, if you taste it, yes, the color is just interesting because it's very deep, with a brilliant sensation, exactly. And if you try to discover it in nose, you have a great evolution of fruitness. You start at the beginning a lot of fruitness that come for sure from the indigenous blend of our grape varieties, like Corvina and Corvinone are famous for the sherry notes that you find a lot here, but here you don't find only the red young fruit, you find also the dried grape taste that exit from the Ripasso method, and is really interesting because give more evolution to the wine. So you start to discover dark fruit, forest fruit that are really nice to discover inside the wine. Later you find ever in the nose, at the end, after this fruit sensation, an interesting spicy sensation as well, that come from, for sure, from the year of aging that the wine passed over wood. We use mainly big barrels that are from 20 hectoliters until 50 hectoliters, so really big barrels that compared to the barrique style wines work better on the surround of the wine, so you don't feel it at the beginning, but it's great because complete the sensation that you discover from inside the glass. So it's a very well balanced nose. After we go to discover it in mouth. Mm-hmm. Where, yes, is a really good taste. You feel at the beginning a lot the freshness of the Valpolicella Classico, yeah, with a very important acidity, but an elegant, a gentle acidity that drive very well through the mouth. Is a quickly travel for the acidity, but is also great to feel the nice persistence of the wine. So is juicy. The acidity gives this nice juicy taste that is particular because after you start to feel it now after 30 seconds of the drink, you feel a recalling of the wine inside mouth. That is really very important inside a wine like this because it means that is very drinkable. It is absolutely important because yes, our wines born like the tradition want are kind of wines that born for pair it with food. But yes, now we drink it alone, and it's also great to feel it.
Exactly.
At the end, you feel also the little bit of vanilla taste that comes from the wood. Mm. So for complete what I say from the nose tasting, the wood is really something that touch a little bit of wine. Is something that we don't want to use for overrate too much, but is something that yes, play for the final balance of the wine. Is yes, the balance is the earth of this wine, as the method want to give more richness to the entry level. So is really interesting. Now we have the 18 vintage. We speak about a bottle that was bottled around 6 months ago. So we are close to the best moment to drink it. We are soon on the market with the new vintage 19, but yes, it's a kind of wine that is great to discover it young because it's fresh, and is also kind of wine that live inside the bottle for a long time. You can wait until 5 years to drink this wine with any kind of problem. For the nice acidity, the strong acidity that we have, for the alcohol content, because here we goes at 13.5 alcohol content. You can see all the information on the back label, where you can see also the green flag of the organic wine production. As I said to you before, we have all our 60 hectares under organic certification, so all our wines in the back label have the green flag. Is something important because yes, we have 60 hectares. The farthest vineyard from here, I am at the winery now. The farthest vineyard from here is only 3 kilometers away from here for understand how is important also for share the typicity inside our wines, inside our bottles. And so yes, we live over our land, so it's also really very important for us to follow the land with a safe conditions for all the kind of environment that we have.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I actually just love the wine because it's, as you said, it's so well balanced. People expect it to be big and jammy, and it's not. It's just fresh and it's light and it's lots of cherry fruit and you got the spice. In Denmark we call it Christmas spice.
Yes.
And so kind. So yeah, I love it, and I also think it's very interesting about the people understand it better when you say the Valpolicella Classico is just the grapes, fresh grapes pressed and just fresh juice, and then you got the Amarone, which is the dried grapes, and you press the dried grapes, and the Ripasso is in the middle, as you said. It's a blend between the fresh wine from the Valpolicella Classico and the dried pressed grapes from the Amarone. So yeah, great wine.
Yes, it's very important what you say, because yes, Ripasso in the people mind today play with yes, jammy wine, as you said. Yes, our Ripasso is the opposite. You feel the fruitness, but is not jammy. Is really elegant kind of fruit. If you feel the nose, you can say the really kind of fruit that you feel, and this is really important because mean that yes, the smell is really fine. And yes, as I said at the beginning, our wines are famous for the really dry sensation that you have, but because they are really dry. Yes, you feel a lot of the acidity, because acidity is the mainly characteristic of our indigenous grape varieties. So is something that we have, is something that we love, because is something that is the characteristic that shape the very drinkable sensation that we have with this wine. And our Ripasso is also famous for its freshness. Is of course a complex wine. Is a kind of wine that you drink with complex foods as well, but is famous for its freshness. So compared to the other Ripasso or Ripasso style wines, is a kind of wine that is really fresh. You feel it in mouth after the drink. Is a kind of wine that recall to you the wine. Is something that we love, because yes, you inside this wine you feel really the very juicy taste of the entry Valpolicella Classico mixed with the evolution of the Amarone. So
exactly.
all these things together made a really great wine for foods, but also really great wine for aperitifs. Here during the summer, yes, you see me that now I have the short, but yes, is from this moment until September we have very high temperatures, so it's typical to drink this wine seated outside the bars on the river of the lake. So is a kind of wine. It's normally strange to say this about a red wine, about a Ripasso style wine, but our Ripasso served fresher than now. I drink it at cellar temperature, so around 15, 16 degrees. During summer we serve it colder, and yes, it's typical to drink it like an aperitif. And is you can do that only because the style of this wine is very fresh. So freshness is the goal of our Ripasso compared to the others.
Exactly, and you can definitely sense the freshness. And of course there's alcohol, but the alcohol is behind. It's the freshness and the juiciness and the cherry notes that just get through in this wine, and that's why you're so right. It's a wine you can enjoy every part of the year, and especially right now. Also in Denmark, it's 20 degrees outside, so we could cool it a bit down and just enjoy it without food. But what about with food? Do you have any for the people watching this, drinking the wine? If they're gonna make some dinner tonight, what should they make for this wine?
Yes, yes, Ripasso is also a great wine for the really big spectrum of kind of food that you compare with, because you really pass from young fresh foods like salad, or here in Italy is typical to drink it with a dish of pasta with a red tomato juice. But it's also kind of wine you discover it with a long persistence that you have after the drink, that you can compare with a barbecue. So with red meat is a really perfect wine for the table in general, because our Ripasso is the perfect wine to open when you don't know to which kind of wine you can drink, because really any kind of food stay well with this kind of wine. As I said to you, if I need to choose one, I said fresh foods, but yes, it depends every time from the personal taste of people. But yes, dish of pasta with the red tomato juice is perfect. But yes.
Nice, thank you. So and you also talked about the vintage. So this is 2018, and soon we'll get the 19. But how much of a role does the vintage play in your part of the wine world, the wine region, Valpolicella? It's important, and can you taste it? And what are the difference between this wine 18 and the 19 who is not?
Yes, yes. You need to know that Ripasso is a kind of wine that born after this method that is very easy to say in words, but is very complex, because everything started in September with the cutting that we made of the fruits from the plants. We put the plants over big tables for the drying process for the Amarone. So of course, after the 4 months of drying, after the crushing, the vintage effect, the vintage effect made is averaged. So, but yes, if we need to compare the 18 with 19. Were two very similar vintages, where we had a quite crazy weather, like all the last summers were, like all last season were. But yes, after all the event, if we need to talk about the wine, the two wines are quite similar. Of course, if you compare today the 18 with 19, I personally prefer the 18 because I have more time inside the bottle, but only for this, because the 19 have a really great potential and they show all the characteristics that the fruit exit from that vintage. 19 was yes, quite crazy, but at the end the fruit was perfect and was one of the best of last 5-6 years. So yes, we receive a very great 15, 16 was the two great famous vintages from last 10, but 19 for sure was one of the best of the last. And About the wines, for sure, the 19 now is quite fresh, but in few months it becomes at the same level of 18. So yes.
Yeah. Nice. And we, yeah, 19 is already, like we talk about Burgundy. We hear a lot of good things about Burgundy 19 vintage, and the same with you. So can't wait to taste that. And you also mentioned 15 and 16, and that's I think that's important to talk a little bit about your Amarone, because
Yes.
we got the 15 right now in storage, but we also know that the 16 had got very good ratings. So. So congratulations, and we can't wait to taste the 16 when it arrives. So just a quick few words about your famous Amarone. It's your top wine, so yeah.
Yes, Amarone, you mentioned the 16 that receive very great ratings, but yes, in these terms, we are really happy also for the ratings of this wine. About the Amarone, yes, is a kind of wine that yes is our symbol. The 16 is on the market from few months. Comes to Denmark quickly. 15 and 16 were two really great vintages. I personally prefer the 16, but were two of the best ever. I started to work here for my first harvest in 2006. So yes, I had some harvest, not too many, but as my parents, my cousins. But yes, is the grapes that we had in these two vintages were really unique, and yes, we had a lot of expectation around the wines, and yes, now we discover it after all the long work that we have to the product in the back of the production of the Amarone, because you know, I said a little bit before, we made this long time for the drying process of the grapes. We do that because our grapes are really simple and liked. So for this reason, the entry-level wine is really very liked, the Valpolicella Classico. Amarone becomes stronger because this time over for the drying concentrate a lot all the grapes, and we have yes, a big loss of water and a strong concentration that is very hard to discover at the beginning inside the glass. For this reason, the juice, the wine need time for reach the right maturation. So we put it over wood for a time of 3 years and a half, so another very long time. 3 years and a half, where we mix at the beginning for the strong power the wine in small tanks of 500 liter that are tonneau, not barrique, because in our mind, in our philosophy, barrique is too aggressive. So we spend 18 months, 1 year and a half in 500 liter tanks tonneau, and later we move the wine for other 2 years over the big barrels that, like in the Ripasso wine, we work more on the surround of the wine. With the tonneau tanks, we work more on the intensity, but we work more on the structure of the wine, because the great power that we receive from the drying process love this. So, and the big size barrels work for the rest, so around the surround, but yes, it is the element that give a lot of elegance to the wine. Finally, before the releasing, it's important to say that we spend time that is around 1 year of aging inside the bottle too. Is another really important time, because is a kind of aging where all the components of the wine start to play together for the final taste of the wine. So the alcohol, that is quite strong. With the Amarone, we reach 15% of alcohol. Lot of the time inside the bottle. So yes, we wait this minimum time for the releasing, because is the minimum time that we want for a wine like the Amarone. Amarone, after, yes, you can, is a kind of wine that you can wait years, you can wait decades. So is a wine that have a really long shelf life, but yes, is it takes it from all the works that we have in the back. For sure, if you open today a 15, you have the 15. That is a 6 years old wine. It is crazy to say, but it looks young. Young because you have the same very nice and gentle acidity of the Ripasso, because the grapes that we use are the same, but with a strong power that give to the wine a very young sensation. So is in general a wine that love time. We spend part of this time in the cellar, and yes, later goes to the market. It's also important to say that our Amarone is also a kind of wine that is great to discover it young, because is also, if you drink today the 15, is not a problem, because you have a great discover of all the good and long evolution of the wine, because of course it looks young, but he have a travel of 6 years, so is really nice to drink it also young.
Perfect. I last year I tasted the 95 and the 15 together. It was a great moment. So absolutely, and I also know that Luca, your cousin, told me about the quality of the Amarone is so important for you, because there are some vintages that you don't make the Amarone because it's not that you're not satisfied with the quality, right?
Yes.
So is there any what about the 17, 18? Will you make these in the Amarone?
Yes, because as I said to you before, yes, also the 17, like the 18 and 19 that we talked before, were few crazy for the weather during the summer, for big storms. We have the great lucky that the storms goes around our vineyards, so we received very safe grapes, and yes, we have also here a lot of expectation. We go soon inside the bottle with the 17. You know that we wait the 3 years and a half of aging over wood. Today we are in 2021, so only few weeks, and the wines enter inside the bottle for the year that of aging that we give a minimum to the wine. And yes, we are very happy also for the high quality of the 17. So you can be not afraid, because yes, the vintages that are coming are very good, with a high attention over the 16, because yes, together with the 15 are my favorites. So and is also I say this because I live in the winery, but I feel a lot also the life in the vineyard, and yes, the answer that we received from these two vintages were really unique. So
perfect. So right now people have to buy some 15 of the Amarone and wait a little bit for the 16, but when we
yes,
get
of course, because yes, as you said, you were one of the lucky men in the world that tasted a 30 years old Amarone. Is something unique, really, because yes, the young Amarone have a really a really great and complex sensation, but the really great answer of Amarone exit after time. So the suggestion is to take some to drink now and some to keep, because it's something that is really unique to discover, really.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I can't wait to come visit you. I should have visited you last April, but due to COVID, it was cancelled. So,
yes.
And I hope also everyone who watches this, wants to taste your wines now. And thank you for letting us get the excitement about your winery. I personally love it, and I love the story, and I love the. It's a simple area, but it's important and a very interesting area, because people think it's very difficult with the Amarone and the Ripasso, and what is it, and what are the grapes, but it's when you explain it like you did today, it's so simple. It's just the same grapes, but you just treat them differently. So yes. I hope that everybody who see this, got to learn a little bit about the Valpolicella and all your lovely wines, and of course Speri. So thank you, and
thank you very much to you and all to our client in Denmark. Thank you really very much to you for this opportunity. I hope to see you soon here, and for all the clients that want to be here like you, we are ever open for you. And yes, is something unique to touch our reality with your hands, with your eyes. And yes, it's strange to say, but the word simple is also the word that used to before is the perfect word to resume our family, our reality, because we do really simple things. As we talk today about, is yes, easy to say word, but yes, we do simple things, but good things. When you see Speri, you know that is a good thing, because we have everything under our control, and yes, simple is our goal.
Perfect.
So, thank you, and everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice taste with our wines, and yes, have a nice drinks with our wines.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.